Habs win! Let's go! That's 4 in a row now. That's the first time the Habs have won 4 in a row since back in February 2022. So it's been what, 3 years since the Habs won 4 in a row. So let's celebrate that. Woohoo! They're not making Kent Hughes' job easy for now. The trade deadline that it's in a week. So hopefully they keep on winning. Hopefully, like I've said it so multiple times. I don't care if they make the playoffs if they're playing meaningful games and they're giving themselves a chance to be at the playoffs. That's all you want to see from them, right? Because that translates into next season, and hopefully next season we do make a push for the playoffs. So let's go. We need to win these games. We need to win against San Jose. We need to win against Buffalo. We need to win against Buffalo again on Monday. Because these are the games that are easier in the schedule and we need to win them. But it took effort. It took some effort to get that win. That was not an easy win by any means. And the Habs didn't start playing well until like 10 minutes into the first period. And it's been a little bit of a recurring theme now that it's taking them a little bit to get to wake up. And like Marty said in training, wake the F up. He was yelling at them in training. It's not something we've seen before from Marty. It's not something that's out of the context of hockey training or training in sports in general. Yes, your coaches do yell at you when you're screwing up, when you're not in it, right? Sometimes you do need a little bit of a wake-up call, and Marty, I guess, had seen enough at that point and just yell at all of them to wake up, to do the drill properly. And they needed to wake up early in this game, and it took them 10 minutes. Thankfully, we didn't get scored on. But yeah, it took so long for us to start generating anything. So the first period ended up with 0 goals each. But I did think in the last 10 minutes we did have the better chances. We do get a power play out of a good back push. We don't convert, even though we had a few chances. They were not giving line anything. They just dedicated one of their penalty killers just to sit with line the whole time. So that's gonna happen. But that also creates spaces for other people in the power play, right? So Slafkovsky gets a good look, and I think he passes through the crease to Caulfield, which cannot catch the pass. It's a bullet of a pass, right? But they're it's good to see that they are developing those plays as well. They're not just relying fully on the line and one timer. They're also making the plays where with Caulfield at the bumper spot sometimes, or Caulfield then slides out to get that cross crease pass by Slafkovsky. There was a shot by Suzuki that opened up. Slafkovsky sadly went to the back of the net for the rebound, whereas you wish he stays more in front to take the ice from the goalie and catch the rebound himself maybe. So there was that. But yeah, a lot of hits too during the game. Turned out to be fairly physical. They're a divisional rival, and we're playing them again tomorrow, right? I'm recording this on the Sunday. So it did get fairly physical. There were a lot of roughing penalties. There was a fight. Was there a fight? No, there was not a fight. They didn't drop the gloves, but they were starting to. They got called before because it just turned into a wrestling match. Anyways, so very physical, and we were getting the worst of it during the first period. So Heineman goes for a hit, but he gets reverse hit and butt on the ice. Then Gallagher is going for the puck, and he thinks Dahlin's gonna just be looking for the puck. Instead, Dahlin just braces himself, and Gallagher goes flying. So we were not being the ones doing all the hitting in the first period. It was a fairly slow game that picked up the pace gradually as the game went on. So the first, I was falling asleep during the first. I'm not gonna lie, not actually falling asleep, but it was not super entertaining. I was not very engaged with the game at that point. It did pick up the pace in the second period. Obviously, we start by scoring. Beautiful goal by Caulfield, by the way. Like a nice play by Hudson, I think, actually, who had yet another great game. So we lose the puck in like I'm not even going to get to the goal itself. I just want to get to the pass before the goal, because we lose the puck and they go on a 2-on-1 in a short-handed attempt, and Hudson just rushes, gets a good stick, gets the puck, passes it to Suzuki, who then line a Caulfield and inside, right? And Caulfield gets his 29th, setting his new record for goals. So I've heard Steve Dangle say how they have tout Caulfield as the 30 goal scorer, 40 goal scorer. So they call him the 40 goal scorer that has never scored 30. And it's true. We all say, oh yeah, Caulfield's a 40 goal scorer, you know, like he's gonna make it. It's just like he's been having bad luck with injuries and whatnot, and blah blah. And it's, in my opinion, it's been true, but he needs to prove it, right? So last year he played all 82 games, I'm pretty sure, or close to that, and he only had 28 goals. Yes, he was coming back from a big shoulder surgery, and apparently it takes a full season to recover. So now this is the season, right? And he's at 29. Hopefully he gets to 30 soon. It would be really nice if he gets close to 40, right? Like, it would be amazing, because you have your goal scorer right there. And that's even with Laine taking his spot in the power play, right? So nice to see Caulfield set a new record for goals for himself. Nice to see Suzuki with another point, and Laine with another point as well. Laine had a few chances during the first. None of them went in, obviously. But he actually didn't play that much. I was just checking how much they played. That back line only played 10-ish minutes, whereas the Evans line played like 16-ish minutes. So I don't know what was that. I know it was a fairly physical game, and like they're not very reliable defensively, that line yet. So I don't know why they were not getting so much, or why they were getting so little ice time. They need to obviously start to synergize more. Beck is a rookie, and he's not getting a lot of help defensively from the other two team line mates. So maybe in tight games they just don't want to play them that much. But against Buffalo, I don't know. I thought maybe they deserved a little bit more. Obviously, or might be that, actually, now that I say it a lot, it might be that they're trying to showcase Evans or Mia more. Apparently, trade negotiations with Jake Evans have not gone well, and apparently no agreement has been made or being close to getting done with the Habs and Jake Evans. So he's apparently probably getting traded. It sucks because he's such a really good penalty kill. He's such a good center for the fourth line. But I think he was asking 20 mil for 5 years, so 4.5, I think, or 4 mil for 5 years. Yeah, for a fourth line center. I don't know. With the cap going up and all that, I would do it because you need someone like Jake Evans to stabilize you, right? But it is expensive. Like, it sucks a little if we see him go. Hopefully, we'll see next week, or in the next week what happens. Hudson with 2 points again. He had a very, very good game. So like I said, he goes defensively on our first goal. That's not even gonna register a point there, but he's just so good with the puck. He's so good, and he's so fast at realizing when he has time, which is the hardest part in the NHL to my perception. You know, like, a lot of players think they don't have time, or think they have more time than they do, right? So sometimes they're like, oh, I have more time, and they get hit really hard, or they lose the puck. Or sometimes they do have time, but they think they don't, so they just toss a fast pass and it gets intercepted and whatnot. Hudson is really, really fast at realizing, okay, I have time, or okay, I can fake that pass so everybody goes back, and then I have time. So he does that a lot, and actually that's what leads to his first assist in the game. So bad defensive play from that line in our zone. Buffalo gets a chance. I don't remember exactly how the puck gets to Hudson, but he's right there and he's about to go ice it, but he immediately sees, okay, there's two defensemen of them that pushed up, and I think he was against a forward, so he starts rushing up the ice and then cuts into the middle, because I think that was not a defenseman, or he was out of place, you know, and he gets a good pass to Dvorak. Dvorak actually, who had a pretty good game this game and against San Jose, so Dvorak's been good the last 2 games, but he sends the pass back to Anderson and he scores a beauty. That was a beautiful goal. I was mentioning Dvorak because, like, I don't like how he plays. I don't like his offense, but honestly, he has been very engaged the last 2 games. I've seen him more than once, and I've said out loud more than once, so like, wow, Dvorak, you know, like that was a good chance that he had right there. So nice to see from him. A little too late, in my opinion. Like, it's just the year you want to get rid of him, or you're probably not gonna re-sign him. I know there's an argument to be made to keep him while we get his replacement ready, which is probably gonna be back. But yeah, unless it's very short term or very low cap, I don't see it happening. Anyways, he is not great offensively. Like, there was that play that was like peak Dvorak offensive mind, where he gets the puck from Evans, he throws it back to Evans throws it back to Dvorak because he has space, and then like Evans gets swarmed by like 3 Buffalo Sabre guys, and Dvorak just passes it back to him. I think he was trying to pass it to someone behind Evans, but like, you just received the puck from the guy. He's exactly in the same spot, and you're throwing it back at him. And like, obviously Buffalo gets it, and they clear the zone. It's like, it's those kind of things that make me really upset about Dvorak. He's obviously very good defensively and whatnot, you know, but like, yeah, offensively it's a little hard to watch. Anyways, and then the second point by Hudson is that beautiful 4-on-4. A goal that a Newhook puts in. So it's Matheson with Hudson, the defensive pairing for that 4-on-4, which is actually really nice to see. The Habs having an option for a offensive duo. Excuse me. So we need to generate something, right? We're tied at 2 at that point, and Marty puts out these 2 guys. They're both just really offensive minded, and it works beautifully. Like, with more space, because it was a 4-on-4, they had the puck the whole time. They were dancing around Buffalo, and they set up Newhook for the redirect that goes in. So yeah, it's very nice for the future to see just like the pairing of Hudson Matheson whenever we need some offense being generated. Yeah, I like that. I like seeing that. I mentioned Dvorak, Jackeye. So the physicality. Obviously, when I would talk about Jackeye, I would talk about physicality. So Greenway and Jackeye are going at it for a while. It starts early in the game and it peaks at the like last minute of the game. But yeah, they're tossing the body around, and I think Jackeye gets bodied once, and then he tosses Greenway into the boards. Then Dobish says something to Greenway, I think, and Greenway just goes and stares at Dobish like really to his face and cross-checks him. So that was the second penalty that someone took against Dobish. I think one of them took a goalie interference late in the second, which actually led to the 4-on-4. And goal by Newhook, and then Greenway takes a cross check against Dobish at the end of the game. Like, the fuck? What did Dobish say? Anyway, very curious what the chirp was to get Greenway like that. But it was nice to see the physicality. Yeah. I'm wondering if the physicality is going to pick up from where it left off. So are we going to have another sleepy game at the start on Monday that's going to gradually pick up like it did yesterday? Or are we going to pick up the pace and the physicality right where we left off and like see a few fights, see if like big hits, because they don't like each other. They're divisional rivals, right? It's fun to watch divisional rivals just go at it. yeah, what else do we have? Habs. Oh yeah, with who was it that scored? Anderson. The beautiful goal set up by Hudson and Dvorak, right? Anderson gets one, which first of all is really nice because he's been playing hard, but he doesn't get to score that often. But he goes up the ice and he's in a good position, scores from a beautiful pass from Dvorak, and he gets his 10th goal. With that, the Habs actually are the team with the most 10 goal scorers in the NHL. Isn't that pretty nice? We also have one of the better scorers in the NHL. Like Caulfield is like in the top 10 scorers. So like when you look at that, when you look at the depth of scorers we have, and you look at that we also have some of the high scorers, high producer players like Suzuki and Caulfield, obviously Hudson too. Like we're fairly close to breaking out, or that's how it feels at least. Yes, we need to be tighter on defense. Yes, we need to be. We have to create more synergy between the players and whatnot. Like they need to play together for a little bit longer, but we're getting there. Buffalo. This is another fun stats that the commentators mentioned. Buffalo is one of the teams that has hit the posts the most in the NHL. So they started, I think, at 93 posts. During the full season at the start of the game. I think they hit either 4 or 5. Either way, they were getting fairly close to 100 by the time the game ended. They're probably gonna hit 100 on Monday. Hopefully it doesn't go in, you know. Hopefully they don't go in. Hopefully they just, if they throw it at the net, they hit the posts. But like, that's crazy. That's a crazy stat. So they just cannot catch a break. Poor Buffalo. I kind of feel bad for them, but obviously it's nice to get the wins against them, and it's nice that maybe our rebuild will be better and faster than theirs. It makes you feel a little bit good, but at the same time, like, you gotta feel bad for them. Slav was somewhat quiet again, even though he was the top guy with 4 hits on the team. I think he had 5. I think he had 5 hits this time. I think after that it was Struble, who actually I'm gonna get to in a second. But Slav had some good chances, obviously out there on the power play and whatnot. He's playing okay with Suzuki and Caulfield, but it's not the same we watched a week ago against the Ottawa Senators. It's not on the same level at all. And you want to see that from him. You want to see him play more madder. Yeah, like the hits he was throwing, they were hits, but they were not the mad, I want to hurt you hits. So, and he seems less engaged when he's not playing mad like he was last week. Anyways, Struble was actually really, really good. He had a good stick to stop, I think it was Owen Power to get the puck in. So the puck was just bouncing around, and Struble turns around and puts his stick to stop Power from getting a shot. And he was playing the body. He reacted when they went to Dabish. He's the guy you want to see, and like he's been actually really good. Before he used to be out there because he was a big physical guy. He's actually not defensive liability anymore. He's reliable in the back end, and he's been playing really well with Hudson. I think they match fairly well together. Hudson does not shy away from physicality either. Like whenever the whistle blows and they're like pushing and shoving, like Hudson is right there with everyone, just like pushing guys out away from Dabish. It's actually nice to see like your superstar rookie defenseman, who's like 5'7" or something. Yeah, he does not shy away from it. He just goes at it. He's actually not 5'7". I think he's closer to 6, but those numbers are weird. Heineman. So Heineman is he's so good in our fourth line. He participates in the second power play unit as well. He has a crazy shot. that whole line is getting used to playing together again. Like they were so good before Heinemann's injury, and they're getting there again. I don't think they're at the same level as before the injury, but they're just so reliable, and they hit, they chase, they do a little bit of everything. You know, they obviously don't have a lot of talent in there, but they're all of them are dogs. It'll be really sad when they get separated, because yes, they will be separated. I don't think we're keeping all of Armia and Evans. It's how it is. But yeah, the trade deadline incoming next week, I think, is the deadline. So we might not see that line again. So let's enjoy while it lasts. I think that's everything I had to mention. It was a fun game at the end. Like I said, the first period was a little bit of a sleeper. Well, yeah, that doesn't mean what I think it means. It was, you know, sleepy first period. Then the second picked up. Obviously, most of the goals happened there, and then Evans gets the empty net. But the third period was fought well. They were pushing. It was physical stuff after the whistle, like every whistle. They were going to the net, you know. So it was better to see on the first period. It was just like not great. Yeah, so we play against them again Monday night, this time at Montreal. We need to win that. We need to win because it's Buffalo, because it will be really fun to have 5 in a row, because it will put us closer to the playoffs, because we want to make Kent Hughes' job difficult. Every time I say that, it's yeah, it just doesn't roll off my tongue. So we'll see that after Monday. I'll leave it at that. Don't forget to leave all the feedback you think about, what do you like, what you don't like, in the comments or with the thumbs up or down. Give it to me. And yeah, I'll see you after Monday. Go Habs, go!